Did we meet earlier?
Sir, we have met once at. Can you hear me, sir?
It got stuck. Yes, sir.
Can you hear me now?
You're getting stuck in between photo, your video and voice.
ಸರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಇದೆ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಸರ್, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ಟಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಮಧ್ಯೆ.
Well, I think is it better now?
No, double voice.
1 minute. It will be okay now. Can you? Is it better now?
No, better.
Yeah, it was because it's also on YouTube. So there was this one.
Sir, I think it is 10:59. We'll allow all participants.
Okay.
Echo ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು somewhere you have to cut the audio.
ರಮೇಶ್ ಸರ್, ನಿಮ್ದಿದ್ರಲ್ಲೇ ಆಡಿಯೋ ಡಬಲ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
The second SVYM has to be cut. Audio has to be cut. SVYM second one. Hello. Now speak.
Yes, Maharaj. No.
Is it better now?
Yes.
Yes. That was the problem.
ಸರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. They are joining.
ನೀನು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು
May I request all participants who are not to mute their.
ಹಲೋ ಸರಿ, ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ಕೋ-ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
I hope I am audible now, and we can.
ಸರ್ ಅದೇ ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ಕೋ-ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿತ್ತು.
Okay. Good morning and welcome to the Vivekananda lecture series. Is the audio clear, or is there an echo that you can hear? Or is it,
No, audio is clear.
Audio is clear now. It's okay. No problem.
So, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Vivekananda lecture series. This is season 2, 2023. In season 1, we had 5 episodes in this series, and in each episode, we explored a specific aspect of Swamiji, his message to the youth, his institutional building abilities, and so on. Today, for the first episode of season 2 and the 6th overall, we are pleased to have Swami Bodhmayanandaji Maharaj, Adhyaksha, Ramakrishna Math, Hyderabad. A brief introduction. Inspired by the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda during his school days, Swami Bodhmayananda joined the Ramakrishna order in Bangalore in 1984 and was initiated into the monastic vows in 1993. He served the mission in Hyderabad, Vivekananda, and Chennai between 1989 and 2010 and was involved in various youth activities. He has also served as the director of Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence, a unique and dynamic institute to fulfill Swami Vivekananda's vision of character building and service focused on school children and the youth of the country. He has served as secretary Ramakrishna Mission Ashrama, Vivekananda, and is presently the Adhyaksha of the Ramakrishna Math, Hyderabad. Swami Bodhmayanandaji Maharaj has so far conducted more than 1,000 workshops, seminars, and classes, reaching about 6 lakh students, teachers, managers, and others on topics ranging from human excellence, self-management, leadership skills, and Vedanta across schools, professional colleges, and many corporate in almost every state in the country over the last 2 decades. These talks are brought to you jointly by the Vivekananda Institute of Indian Studies and the Vivekananda Institute for Leadership Development, both units of the Swami Vivekananda Youth Movement, a development organization engaged in building a new civil society in India through its grassroots to policy level actions spanning health, education, community development, and capacity building and training. The format of today's session will follow a Q&A discussion mode and will go on for about 45 minutes, followed by Dr. Kumar, Kumar GS, our head educational initiatives of SVY, who will render the closing remarks and propose the vote of thanks. Sir, Swamiji, namaste and welcome.
Namaste.
An absolute
Yes.
pleasure to have you on this talk, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ramesh. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I would like to start by asking the question that is most uppermost in most minds, sir. Swamiji's relationship with his guru, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, was very unique when we read about his relationship and all. Although falling broadly into the category of the Guru Shishya Parampara, it was also very different in many ways. Could you please elaborate on this unique relationship between Guru and disciple, please?
Yeah. Om Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharine Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Jaya Jaya Naradeva Naradeva Jaya Jaya Naradeva Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Mrutangamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Namaskars to all of you, those who are participating in this Vivekananda lecture series organized by Vivekananda Youth Movement. Some known people are there who I have met many times in Mysore and in Sargur. So this is a very interesting, very enlightening and very motivating idea itself to talk about Swami Vivekananda and his relationship with Sri Ramakrishna. And it will be a good meditation and a good revision for our personal life to keep up that heat of inspiration with Swamiji and his teachings and how we can apply in daily life. So as just now Rameshji said, the relationship with Sri Ramakrishna was very, very unique. And it comes in the great Guru Parampara from the Vedic times till today. We have seen the great gurus like Vasishtha with Sri Ramachandra, Sandipini with Sri Krishna. In modern times, Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, and so many other great acharyas were there with a powerful following. So here we find in the 19th century the uniqueness of Sri Ramakrishna Vivekananda, 1836 to 1886, Sri Ramakrishna's lifespan of only 50 years. 1863 to 1902, 39 years, 5 months, the lifespan, physical lifespan of his beloved disciple, Swami Vivekananda. And 19th century, as all of you know, students of history, Indian history, how crucial it was, how important it was. So at that time, when English education was introduced by Macaulay in Kolkata and in different parts of India, they had the power, they had the capacity, they had the strategy. But at the same time, in the same year, Sri Ramakrishna was born, who literally boycotted school education, college education, telling that it is only roti kapda makan, it is only for food, it is only for survival, nothing serious about it. So I will find out the truth by knowing which everything else I will know in this world. So that is how his life started at the age of 16 years, coming to Kolkata for his brother's help. But he made a great impact in the world, which is continuing today. So as far as Swami Vivekananda is concerned, at the age of 18 only, he comes and meets his master, Sri Ramakrishna. Accidentally, incidentally, in many ways, there's all a master plan of these divine beings. They came together at that crucial period when 1881. That means Swami Vivekananda, still not yet a monk, but a man of tremendous intellect, musician, debater, etc., etc., but having a different mindset, a curious mindset. That made him unique. That made the relationship unique in one way or the other. So it says there, the conflict in Narendra's mind, it grew intense as days passed by when he was 18 years old. Then we find his father, Vishwanath, passing away all of a sudden. And this made him dive deep into life, into the secrets of life, into life after death, in God, or atheism or agnosticism. These things make the relationship very, very unique. It's not just coming and applying and saying, give me a mantra, I will sit with you and serve you, but the tussle between the East and the West. Great thinkers today say the best of the East, that is Sri Ramakrishna, diving deep for 12 years, 14 years in spiritual life, realizing the various truths of the different sects, different branches in Hinduism, from Dvaita to Vishishtadvaita to Advaita, and then other bhakti movements, etc. Then here is a man who did not have the formal religious worship, though his mother was very pious and was a Shiva devoted to Shiva. But this boy, not exactly worshipping in the regular sense of the term, but curious to know what exactly is life, etc. So the desperation, the intensity, the passion was increasing day by day in young Narendra. And what makes me think more and more is how his college professor, William Hastie, an Englishman, understands the personality, understands the power of Sri Ramakrishna. while explaining, as some of you might have read, his detailed life, Narendra Vivekananda's detailed life in Kannada or in English or in any of your mother tongue, when he was trying to explain the word ecstasy in the poem of Wordsworth, the students were blinking. They did not know the proper understanding of this word. And then Professor Hasty, with a lot of examples, trying to explain what that word ecstasy is. It's a very deep word. It's not just happiness. It's not just joy. It is not just some overcoming some sorrow, but something very powerful. He said that is how Narendra, the future Vivekananda, comes to know or comes to hear what Sri Ramakrishna was and is. So, when all the religious leaders failed, here is Professor Hasty suggesting to the boys, if you want to know the meaning of ecstasy, please visit Sri Ramakrishna, the saint in Dakshineshwar. That triggered off more curiosity in the mind of Swami Vivekananda than Narendra. And that is how that relationship starts. So I find one is his introduction to Sri Ramakrishna through his professor. Now, as Indians, as people who live in this part of the country, in the part of the planet, have some bhakti, have some knowledge, go back and think how Professor Hasty could understand Sri Ramakrishna. We don't have history whether he met Sri Ramakrishna or not, but there must be something else. So that is how we have to understand in a broader perspective, in a very, very subtle perspective, how Professor William Hasty understood Sri Ramakrishna as an embodiment of ecstasy. And then inspiring the Indian boys, his students, English students, to go and visit Sri Ramakrishna to see what ecstasy is. This is also very unique that we have to understand. Then the next point, I would say, the first momentous meeting between the Guru and the Shishya, it happened in Kolkata, not in Dakshineshwar. Ramachandra Datta was already connected with Sri Ramakrishna, one of the householder disciples. He had invited Sri Ramakrishna to his house in Kolkata. So Sri Ramakrishna agreed. And then Ramachandra Datta, who was a related maternal uncle to Swami Vivekananda, Narendranath, requested this young boy, come and meet our Guru, Sri Ramakrishna. And Narendra went without much curiosity. Just let me go and see, let me find out who that man is. That is how incidentally, accidentally, intentionally, whatever you may call it, Sri Ramakrishna got connected with Narendra. And the unique relationship was not through any scripture. It was not through any mantram in the beginning. It was only through music. This is also another unique relationship. Narendra, a born singer, born musician, and his voice, his tone is something very, very unique. Some say recording is there. That is how one of the devotees in Bengaluru brought out a video or audio recording of Swamiji singing somewhere. Not very authentic, but still there is something there. As the life says, Sri Ramakrishna asked him to sing because Narendra was introduced as an excellent singer, classical musician, thanks to his father who introduced him to Hindustani classical music, both instrumental and vocal. So accompanied by a devotee and a few friends, Narendra goes to meet the future Guru. And for him, he was just an ordinary man. But the future is meeting East and West, meeting God face to face. Ramakrishna received him and asked him to sing a song. The young boy began to sing a Bengali song with the intense earnestness of a crying soul. The pathos, the bhakti inside, the bhava inside was so heavy and so intense in Narendra. Sri Ramakrishna immediately went into ecstasy, went into samadhi. The God-intoxicated mind of Sri Ramakrishna could not just listen to that. He was filled to the brim with joy. O mind, let us return to our real abode. Why do you roam in this alien land in an alien's garb without any rhyme or reason? Mana chalo nija niketane. Let us go to that real realm. Why have you come into this misery, world full of problems and full of dukkham, and this world is so chaotic and so deceitful. Similar song we get in Purandar Das also, almost I feel as if it's a translation. Allide nammane illi bande summane. And this money, this house is full of robbers, full of cheats. Well, let us go. Allide nammane illi bande summane. So mana chalo nija niketane. Oh mind, let us go to that real house. That was the first introduction between Sri Ramakrishna and young Narendra. So in many ways, then one, this unique relationship we find is a great boon for us in the 19th century. And it made a bridge. The bridge is called Amrutasya Setu, the bridge to immortality between the East and the West. So by understanding this connectivity, we find the uniqueness, the grandeur, the, what should I say, the gloriousness, the power behind the Guru Shishya Parampara that we have. And we are fortunate to be connected with that for many, many years now. And the younger generation will find it beneficial to read at least the chapter called The Master and the Disciple in Vivekananda's life or in Sri Ramakrishna's life. So this is my understanding of your first question.
Thank you very much. I think most of what you covered and what Swamiji also, speaks with a lot of emotion in that in that chapter called My Master in volume 4.
Yes.
When he delivers the lecture on his master, and we know the depth of his love and emotion that he had.
Yes.
My second question is to do with the fact that Swamiji tested his Guru in many ways, but at no point did the Guru feel bad, and in a sense seemed to encourage this curiosity of that young boy Naren at all times. And your thoughts on this particular aspect and the lessons that can be gleaned for the current days, so particularly gurus and disciples.
Yeah. You see, normally in the regular sense in school, college and other places, very few people who encourage this questioning, encourage this interaction, encourage this kind of probing into the mind of the Guru and into lessons of the Guru. There's a science teacher or a history teacher, or even parents, even seniors immediately snub or immediately just say, it will take some time, etc. But there was a setting here. This is a beautiful musical setting and a platform for future gurus and future teachers, future students also. As it said, despite all the experiences that Narendra had, the very first experience, if you recollect and others recollect, what was that experience? Narendra having all sorts of doubts, but Sri Ramakrishna had his own way of testing. Initially, it was Sri Ramakrishna testing. Who is this fellow? Why has he come? Why did he come late? Actually, the prayer that Sri Ramakrishna made to Swami Vivekananda was this. We'll just read out. Is it proper that you should come so late? Sri Ramakrishna is holding his hands with a prayerful mood and in tears. He said, is it possible for proper that you should come so late? These are his actual words in Bengali translated to English. I know, my Lord, you are the ancient Rishi Nara, a part of Narayana, who has incarnated himself this time to remove the miseries and sufferings of humanity. See, this created a kind of revolt in Narendra's mind. It was strange for him that such a, whom he thought as a great Paramahamsa and a great ecstatic man, and his Professor William Hastie introducing him as embodiment of ecstasy, purity, etc. And what he had heard about Sri Ramakrishna from his uncle, maternal uncle, Ramachandra Datta, he made his own concept of a saint and concept of a religious holy person. But here Sri Ramakrishna suddenly, after a couple of visits, is doing namaskaram to his Shishya and saying, is it proper that you should come so late? I know, my Lord, you are the ancient Rishi Nara, a part of Narayana, who has incarnated himself this time to remove the miseries and sufferings of humanity. And with folded hands, with tears in his eyes, let us conceptualize, let us meditate on this for a few seconds after the class is over. How deep was that relationship? And this man immediately brands him as crack, as a mad, as pagol, pagoler kache. I come in front of a mad man. He used to send in Bengali. Yeah, that was his understanding of Sri Ramakrishna, and he was doubting him from the beginning itself. Has he gone insane? Is he? I am son of Vishwanath Datta, I am Bhuneshwari Devi, I have brothers at home, and this fellow says I am Nara, I am Rishi, and all sorts of things. That triggered off a kind of question between the Guru and the Shishya. And as you rightly asked, very interesting question, the spirit of inquiry of the young Naren at all times, and how Sri Ramakrishna encouraged him. That is how we have to have more interactive sessions in the classrooms rather than one-way dialogues. That is how C.V. Raman, it seems, had taught his students. Jagdish Chandra Bose, Meghnad Saha, Satyendranath Bose, the other great luminaries of India, Satish Dhawan, Kalam, and so many other wonderful scientists in IISc, they are there, in ISRO, they are there, in Bangalore and other places. I've heard many of them right from the beginning of the class, they encourage the students to be always the skepticism, because by the time he comes to Sri Ramakrishna, you see, he's already well versed with skeptic thinkers of the West. Herbert Spencer, agnostics, and so many people, the list is amazing, and how he studies Western philosophy, Hamilton, Western psychology, so many stories and every science formulas he studies, and that makes him think more and more. His curiosity increases. That is a very unique playing with fire, as it were. Narendra himself, full of fire, never accepted anything which Sri Ramakrishna said, but at the same time, Sri Ramakrishna allowed him, played with him, as it were. So that is the preparation for the future. So the modern times, I wish in private schools, or if possible to the government schools, we can have this kind of dialogue. Recently, a couple of days back, I was in our center in Agartala, capital of Tripura, Ramakrishna Mission Vidyalaya. Just like Mysore Vidyashala, there's a Vidyalaya there. 700 students stay from 3rd standard to 12th. And the CBSE team had come, the chairperson had come. And the second day, there was this Yuva Sansad, Parliament of the Youth. And then there was a panel discussion. 2 or 3 young boys and girls were invited on stage. And in between, the moderator was exposing them, inviting them to ask questions and say their observations about the youth problems and the syllabus, etc. Because this is going to be presented to the Education Ministry, the voice of the youth, voice of the adolescents. +1, +2 students had come, nearly 1,000 of them. It was highly appreciated, and I was absorbed at that high IQ and the research that they have done about health, about youth problems, about addictions. So let us encourage this amongst the youth in schools, colleges, have group discussions more than classroom talks on science, on maths, and values, combine science with values. That is how in the small room in Dakshineshwar, the interaction between the mastermind of Sri Ramakrishna, should I say the spiritual mastermind, and the agnostic mind of Vivekananda interacted with each other. So that will also, and as you know, Narendra did not accept Mother Kali for many years because he was connected with the Brahmo Samaj, and Brahmo Samaj has no image worship. They just have Saguna Nirakara. That is, they worship God or pray to God who has qualities. They are praising the God continuously. Sri Ramakrishna also mentions that. And there's no form there. It's only abstract reality. So the young Bengal was running to Keshav Chandra Sen's lectures. Narendra also is this one from it. So along with so many others, he was attending. So that mindset he had come. So that also was another testing ground, how this fellow will react. And whenever Sri Ramakrishna, when Narendra is criticizing in the most strong and most audacious language, as it were, in Bengali. So that was sometimes Sri Ramakrishna used to cry. What has a mother said? He has come for your work, and this fellow is criticizing me, and so much harsh words. That was sometimes Sri Ramakrishna used to cry, but Mother Kali used to console him, give him like a mother-child relationship. Don't worry, he has come for you. It will take some time. So that is how the wonderful, unique relationship between the master and the guru continued for nearly 5 long years. Can you imagine? In Mini University, 1881 to 1886, and even the last day, or just a couple of days before Sri Ramakrishna passing away, Naren had a doubt. If in this critical moment, when he's suffering and your body had become like a skeleton, in this moment, if he can say who he is, then my life will be fulfilled. Kritartha, I'll become satisfied, become so happy. Sri Ramakrishna, the master yogi that he was, he understood the mind because he had to prepare him for the future work of the mother. He said, Naren, this doubt even at this moment. And he said, he who was Rama, he who was Krishna has come in this form as Ramakrishna, but not in the Vedantic sense. That means the deep inner truth that he who was Rama in the Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, Krishna in the Dwapara Yuga, in the Kali Yuga is Sri Ramakrishna. And that was a very, very deep inner encouragement for this young lad called Narendra. That is how he became Swami Vivekananda, completely surrendering himself to Sri Ramakrishna. Imagine one who comes with a doubt, with tremendous skepticism, tremendous critical mind. Finally, he says, Tasmat Tvameva Sharanam Mama Dina Bandhu. The Ramakrishna Arati song, which Vivekananda himself composed, the second stotra, Ramakrishna Stotra, 4 paragraphs. Bhaktir Bhagascha Bhajanam Bhavabheda Kari Gachyantelam Suvipulam Gamanaya Tattvam Vaktro Dhrutopi Hridaye Namebhati Kinchit Tasmat. Therefore, O Lord, he is praying to Sri Ramakrishna, his Ishtadevata, his beloved. Bhakti, devotion, bhajana, bhajans, singing, and little puja. These 3 are enough for a man to be gaining mukti. Bhava Veda Kari, they have power to break the bondages of this world. But then what has happened in my life, Vivekananda writes, it has become only lip sympathy. It is not coming from my heart. Namebhati Kinchit, I am not able to express it through my heart. It has become only my lip service. Therefore, based on my incapacity, lack of capability, I surrender to you, hey Dinabandhu. Now see the graph from where he was, the street boy of Kolkata, rising up to the great Vivekananda and saying, Tasmat Tvameva Sharanam Mama Dinabandhu. So that is how the transition takes place, and all this happened because the rubbing, the nice polishing. I call it Vivekananda's mind, how it was. It was like raw gold, like a brick of gold. You can't just make an ornament out of it. It is very heavy. But Sri Ramakrishna boiled, toasted, fried, and heated, and removed all the dirt from it and made a beautiful ornament, which we are proud of, called the Ramakrishna Organization, and the Sevas and the Vivekananda's youth movements and all over the country. 5 years of university education is now spread all over the world as Ramakrishna Vivekananda movement. This is my simple understanding of this question. Ramesh.
Thank you very much, sir, for that elaborate and very, very clearly explained answer. I'm just reminded of 2 instances.
Yeah.
I think when Swamiji finally gets to that stage, he says that I cannot find my head. And one of the disciples comes to Sri Ramakrishna. He says, he has been asking me for it. Let him continue to search for some more time, in the sense that, that incident also. And in one sense, Swamiji, like you said, Sri Ramakrishna clearly identified that Swamiji, Vivekanandaji, would become the instrument who would carry the master's message.
Yeah.
Because there is also that incident where he touches him and transmits all of his energy. He said, "Now I become an empty drum, and everything I have, all of my Shakti has been transferred to you." Kind of incident also.
Absolutely.
My next question, Swamiji, is one other unique aspect is that normally it is said that when the student is ready, the guru comes to the student. But here in this case, it is the kind of opposite. Most of the time, Sri Ramakrishna never moved out of Dakshineshwar in this place. And most of his disciples, and even Swami Vivekananda, came to him. The disciples came in search of the guru. So how do you see this inversion of the basic fundamental principle also? One other question.
Yeah, here you find, say, Narendra, if we take it from the humanistic aspect, he's searching for truth, as I said sometime earlier, a few minutes back, after his father's demise, and then his curiosity. Even his mother pricks him a little. You're talking about God, you're talking about the different devotions, and what has he done to you, done to us? The family is thrown out by their own relatives, by their uncles, by their brothers, almost on streets within 24 hours. So that also was a big turning point in his life. There is a beautiful book, some youngsters who are watching this from your school, etc. The Heroic Struggles of Vivekananda. Please read that. All of you read that. Read again and again. Swami Tathagatanji, who was in New York, did a lot of research on this particular, brought out a small book, about 100 pages, maybe less than that. Heroic Struggles of Swami Vivekananda, published from our Madras Mutt. So that will be a very good handbook. How people think, oh, Vivekananda is so great and he can read, he's a yogi, he's this and that. But we should understand two aspects when we study the lives of great teachers. One is the human aspect, that is like you and me. The second is the divine aspect. Swamiji coming from the Saptarshi Mandala, and Swamiji is coming through the prayer and the sadhana, the tapasya of his own mother, Bhuvaneshwari Devi. That's where she offers to Vireshwara Shiva for 2 full long years, pujas in the worship. She's in Kolkata, her sister is in Benares. So every day, sister used to go and pray so that a son is born like Shiva to Bhuvaneshwari Devi. So this is the divine aspect. We can put Vivekananda on a high pedestal and worship him and offer flowers, fruits, and Naivedyam and treat him as Shiva himself. But to make ourselves connected with Swami Vivekananda, this is I feel we should read the humanistic aspect, the struggles of Vivekananda. And that is how, after the struggles and the treatment that he gets for 5 long years, as you said, Swamiji is going in search of nearly 100 people. We understand that he discussed, that he questioned about God, have seen God, whether the Christians, whether Muslims, and the Buddhist monks, and the abstract monks, the Brahma Samaj, even Devendranath Tagore, and so many other people. Nobody could satisfy him. So Sri Ramakrishna prophesied. And there's a story that when Narendra was born, the day he was born, Sri Ramakrishna was jumping in joy in Dakshineshwar temple. And the light emerged from Benares and entering into the particular house in Simuli area in Kolkata. And that gave a hint to Sri Ramakrishna, and he was dancing. It seemed, my man has come, my man has come. But then it took, as I said in the beginning, it took 18 long years for Narendra to come from Calcutta area to Dakshineshwar across the Ganga. So Sri Ramakrishna, what do you say? He is like an open sword. Naren is like an open sword. He will cut the ignorance, the agnanam of the people of the world into pieces. And Naren is like a 1,000-petal lotus. Naren is like a huge elephant. Moment it enters into a small pond, whole thing becomes a tsunami-like thing, as it were. So if Keshav Chandra Sen is a small boat, Narendra is a huge ship, a big container taking thousands of people across. So all these Sri Ramakrishna had already prophesied beforehand, and to his other disciples also. This is also very, as he said, it was he who went in search of a guru, who had seen God. How do you see this? That is how the curiosity, each one of us, if we have this curiosity, we can also need not be stuck up in one place. We can probe, we travel, meet people, as we understand in the Bhagavatam. Avadhuta Gita. Avadhuta, the mendicant, the wandering monk. Somebody asked him, who is your guru? How did you gain so much of knowledge and illumination? Said, which guru you want? They were surprised. What do you mean, which guru? Normally one has only one guru. Avadhuta said, I have 24 gurus. Wherever I went, I was learning from them. I learned from a honey bee. I learned from an elephant. I learned from a musk deer. I learned from a general deer. I learned from a lotus. I learned from a baby. So that is how he mentions, these gurus gave me so much of knowledge. But here, as Swami Vivekananda was removing all the unwanted things from his mind, so that makes him take a serpentine route, and that is how he goes to Sri Ramakrishna. By that time, Sri Ramakrishna had already, as you know, in the Taittiriya Upanishad, there's a chanting that we do. The rishis are inviting brahmacharinis, of course. The girls also were coming into the Gurukulam at the time. Amayantu brahmacharina swaha, damayantu brahmacharina swaha, shamayantu brahmacharina swaha, pramayantu brahmacharina swaha. And they were offering oblations. So students come from all directions, not just students in quantity. They had some eligibility contest also. Pramayantu, damayantu, shamayantu, who are pure in nature, who are self-controlled, dhamma, sense-controlled, and who had mental balance. Shama, dhamma, both go together. Mental balance and physical control. Pramayantu is their purity and their persevering skill. So please come. That was the call of the great sages. But then you find Sri Ramakrishna, when he was completing his sadhana, what happened? He went to the opposite house of Dakshineshwara temple. It was called Kuti. It is, even now it is there. Those who have not seen may visit Kolkata and get connected with this flow of incidents that I'm quoting. So he used to go to the bungalow. Mathurnath Bishwas used to stay in that bungalow, and Sri Ramakrishna goes to the terrace, to the daba, and turn towards Kolkata and cry, "Oh, young man, where are you? My lips are burning, talking to worldly people about worldly matters. Please come, please come. See, Amayantu." Though it was Sanskrit, Sri Ramakrishna here was calling in Bengali. Cholesho, Cholesho. Oh, come, come. I want to talk to you, share my joy and experiences with you. See, that bridge between the ancient and the modern was built up, called Amrutasya Setu. So in that bridge comes Swami Vivekananda, who is also searching for God. Have you seen God? Have you seen God? Have you seen God? Here, all of the youngsters and other people can keep in mind, you know, we as Hindus, we as devotees of Chamundeshwari or Durga or Kali or Shiva or village deities or your Guruvayurappan, anybody in Kerala, anybody in Kashmir, Shatipitam, Shaiva Bhaktas. Question is, while following this Guru Swamiji's intention, sadhana, are we practicing the principles of Hinduism? It's a very, very important question. We say a doctor practices, a lawyer practices, a judge practices, a teacher practices. But what about we going to the temple or doing some bhajan and attending some festivals, Ganesha Vrata and Krishnashtami, etc. But are we really feeling that want of God, feeling that aspiration, the vyakulata to see God? That practicing the principles of Sanatana Dharma of Hinduism is very, very important. That is what we learned from Swamiji. Though he did not meditate, did the formal puja till he came in contact with Sri Ramakrishna and became a Kali Bhakta, that curiosity, can I see God? Can I see God? Can I attain higher Anandam in life? Not just Vishayanandam, but higher Brahmanandam, higher joys. Then Swargadwaram Apavrutam, the gates of heaven will open. You will feel so much of joy within, and you will be solving many of your personal problems through spiritual solutions. So I find that sadhana aspect has to be highlighted. That is what, more than Swamiji talking about nation building and character building and service to the poor, that came later. But now we are discussing about Narendra and Sri Ramakrishna's contact. That was the preparatory ground. That was the training center which in Dakshineshwar temple between an 18-year-old modern boy and 45-year-old Sri Ramakrishna, who was, as in Romarola's expression, living the life of spiritual life of 300 million people of nearly 2000 years, spiritual life of the country in that little span. So all the youngsters, all the students here and far and wide will find it very useful if they take the sadhana aspect of Swami Vivekananda, the student days of Swami Vivekananda, especially in the English book. Of course, it is there in Kannada book written by Swami Purushottamānandaji, the 3 volumes, Veera Sannyasi, Vivekananda, etc. Those who are reading the original English can find it useful in the chapter called Man in the Making. That inspired me as a college student. Man in the Making chapter. Oh my God. So powerful life. Searching for truth. How many of us can keep a hand on our chest and say, I need nothing but the truth. I will not sleep till I get the truth. That thirst for knowledge was burning in Swami Vivekananda. So that is that truth, searching for truth, like a magnet, attracting the different ions, that takes him far and wide and finally brings him at the feet of his beloved future master, Sri Ramakrishna. Yes, this is my simple understanding.
Thank you, sir. There is one other incident soon after Swamiji returns from the United States that happens at the Mayavati ashram.
Yeah.
Which is also instructive because that ashram he had set up as a purely Advaitic ashram where the pursuit would be, like you said, the ultimate truth alone. What is the truth alone?
Yeah.
And when he came back and he actually found a photograph of his master there.
Yes, yes.
Swamiji was open to say, I want at least one place where his influence is not there so that we can pursue the truth with it. So my question to you is, do you think here he was trying to ensure that the young monks think, grow and reflect on their own also?
Yeah.
And what are the lessons that we can take from somebody who is able to think even though he was so dedicated to his master, he could at times even think like this?
Yeah. You see, Rameshji, Sri Ramakrishna had given a lot of freedom to his beloved disciple, his most loving Nara Rishi called Vivekananda. And that freedom nobody else can give, especially in Ramakrishna Martin mission. You can't be so this one, that what you call, you can be a Ramakrishnaite, Ramakrishna Bhakta, Ramakrishna as your Ishta Devata, but you can follow Advaita, you can follow Ishtadvaita. We have many senior monks who are known as Vishishtadvaita practitioners. In Sri Ramakrishna, they found that Vishishtadvaita quality. There was one Swami by name Swami Abhayananda, Bharat Maharaj, popularly called Bharat Maharaj, Holy Mother's disciple. Staunch Advaiti, absolutely strong, no dilution of Advaita, no compromise. People say, we saw him only from outside. By the time we became monks in the order, he had left his body, 1984 or something. People can't believe it. Now, if I say some of the devotees here listening and some youngsters, maybe in his stay as a manager of Belur Math, he hardly went into the temple thrice, maximum. Maybe on Sri Ramakrishna's birthday, just to inspect that also, the decorations and the arrangements for the devotees to come. That freedom is there. But he's in Hyderabad when he came in 1981. We were all young boys at the time doing voluntary work. He went into the temple. Swami Ranganathanji was there and Swami Vireshwaranji was there. Vireshwaranji was the Sangha Guru. He was opening the temple, consecrating the temple. Later, we heard what he said to Ireshwaranji after coming back to his room is, I saw Thakur sitting there. I saw Sri Ramakrishna sitting there in the Hyderabad Ramakrishna Math temple. See, Advaita never went to the temple, but then his mind is full of Ramakrishna as Advaita. And the principle of Advaita I found in Sri Rama, and Sri Ramakrishna is there as blessing his beloved son called Abhayananda. So that is how in Ramakrishna Math and Mission, the freedom to practice any aspect of Hinduism that you can take up convenient to you, keeping the compass straight on Sri Ramakrishna, because Sarvadeva Devi Surupaya, Sri Ramakrishna at the end of the day. So here you find Swamiji had that liberty, because if you go back to the college days of Narendra and the 5 years training that he got, there was a book called Ashtavakra Samhita in Sri Ramakrishna's room. Okay. And it's a very, very strong dose of Advaita philosophy. The philosophy of oneness, the philosophy of Ekameva Nadvitiyam Brahma. So that book was there in the shelf along with Bhagavatam, along with the Chaitanya Charitamritam, along with the Bible and Quran and other books. Narendra is coming to meet Sri Ramakrishna, but Sri Ramakrishna is telling Narendra, before I say something, read that book, at least 2-3 shlokas. And Narendra is furious. No, that I don't like the teachings. It's very, very abstract, etc. Then Sri Ramakrishna says, don't read it for yourself, read it for my sake. That is how he introduced that book into Swami Vivekananda's mind, Narendra's mind, the Advaita Siddhanta, Advaita philosophy. So that means when Brahmanandaji, who was then also a college student, Vivekananda's monastic brother, Rakhal Maharaj, he was also into Brahma Samaj. When he took that book to read, Sri Ramakrishna scolded him, corrected him and said, that book is for Narendra, it is not for you. Then what should I read? You read Bhagavatam. You read Krishna stories. You are Sri Krishna's companion in your previous Janma. He was preparing him for bhakti. He was preparing him for a different play, as it were, drama, as it were, in his Leela. But as far as Vivekananda coming, he made him an Advaitin, because that is the highest philosophy. Through Narendra, he made the whole world know Ekameva Nadvitiyam Brahma, Tattvamasi, etc. And Sri Ramakrishna was not given a space. And it's, if you have gone to Advaita Ashrama, or if anybody can read that life, very, very difficult for us. Evening, no arati. Evening, there is no temple. But the feeling of Advaita says you can see the oneness everywhere. Isha vasyamidam sarvam. Yat kinchit jagatyam jagat. Can really feel the Atma Bhav, the feeling of yourself in the trees, in the people. So you can have your small japathyana in the room, but there is no temple, there is no worship. And Swamiji found that Sri Ramakrishna is already sitting there, because it happens many times. It's a natural process for human beings to have some Dvaita, some Bhakti, some Puja, etc. So unknowingly, they broke the tradition and put Sri Ramakrishna's photograph there. Swamiji was very, very furious. And that message went to Holy Mother, telling that Narendra is opposing Sri Ramakrishna Puja or even a photograph in Advaita Ashrama. And Holy Mother Sharada Devi approves it. What Narendra did is right. Our master is an embodiment of Advaita, embodiment of oneness. So in that place, it is only oneness, Advaita, 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 no place of puja, etc. So today, even till today, in the future also, there will be no temple, etc. Only meditation hall will be there with Omkara. You can go and spend some time. Just like, Shankaracharya left the Advaita philosophy, this Swamiji's words, you see. Vivekananda wanted Mayavati to a place of practical Advaita, not just theoretical, and a meeting point to the east and the west. Shankaracharya left the Advaita philosophy in the hills and the forests. While I have come, who is that I here? Vivekananda himself. While I have come to bring it out of those places and scatter it broadcast before the workaday world and society, he said. Throughout the last century, Mayavati has made every effort to fulfill the dream of the prophet. What is the dream of the prophet? No image worship, no temple rituals, no other bhajans. Just in Ram Nam Day, they do a little Ram Nam Sankirtan, that's all. That is also because of the devotees who go there. So Swamiji's Advaita philosophy in day-to-day life is practiced in Mayavati Advaita Ashrama. It's a remarkable and a powerful pilgrimage center for Advaitins and for our devotees also. Yeah.
Thank you, Swamiji. I think we are almost at the end of the session because we come to the close of the session. I had just one more question. If we could end with that and then move to this one. I think there is one question that has come which is said, is it okay to have more than one guru and that we can, or should we stick to one guru? I think that is one question that has come from the chat.
Okay, very important question. As we have in our Mantra Diksha tradition, one mantra, one guru and one ishtha. It's very, very important in sadhana. I repeat again, one mantra, one guru, one ishtha. The meditator, the meditation and the goal of meditation should be one. No dilution, no. You may respect all the gurus, you may respect all the gods and goddesses, but your ishtha should be one. Mantra should be one. That is very, very important. Ekanishtha, Rishtanishtha. Guru Nishtha, Ishtanishtha, and your sadhana should be one. You can, like our pilgrimage centers, we go to Shakti Pitams, we go to Dwadasha Jyotirlingams, we go to Ganesha temples, but our Ishtha is Sri Ramakrishna. In him we see everything. So, like, one of our President Maharaj's Sangha Gurus, Swami Gambhiranandaji, he is also an Advaita philosopher, Advaita practitioner, and his translations of the scriptures are all very excellent and outstanding. He went to Amarnath, and after coming back, other President Maharaj, who Swami Atmasthanji, asked him, Maharaj, what did you see there? Did you see Shiva? Did you see the Shivalinga there, the ice linga there in Amarnath cave? Straight away, without hesitation, Swami Gambhiranji said, what Shiva? I saw our master Sri Ramakrishna sitting there. You see, that makes things very clear, sharp, devoted. Nowadays, it has become a fashion because of the advertisements of the different gurus. With all due respect, every one of them, our shishyas, public also keep on jumping from here to that guru to that I need not name. Everybody is aware of the modern gurus. So that is not good. You may go listen, respect, and learn some good principles from them, but come back to your guru. Come back to your Ishta. Otherwise, it becomes Guru Ninda, Guru Droha. Holy Mother Sharda Devi had this difficulty. At later stage of her life, when she was 60, 70, she was doing 20,000 times repetition of the japa of her mantra. She herself was worshipped as Shodashi, Tripura Sundari, Saraswati, is doing this japa. Then somebody asked, Mother, why are you doing so much at this age and you are so weak and sick physically? Said, Baba, what to do? People have taken mantra from me. They have forgotten me. They have forgotten the mantra also. For their sake, I am doing. In the end, she suffered so much with Kala Azar and so much of skin infections because of these so-called over-enthusiastic devotees, disciples. So that's not good in the Hindu tradition. Respect everybody, but follow your own sadhana, which you have been dedicated to. That is very, very important and a scientific process of gaining spiritual growth.
Thank you very much, Swamiji, for this wonderful discussion and discourse.
Yes.
I have closed the chat because we had some issues. So I closed the chat, and I don't think I will be able to take any more questions also. I would like to now pass on to Dr. Kumar, our Head of Health and Initiatives, to deliver the concluding remarks as well as the vote of thanks for today's session.
Yes.
Thank you, Ramesh. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Swamiji. Namaste, Swamiji. Sorry,
Namaste.
I joined a bit late. There was some emergency that I had to attend, but I could hear half of the session. I could not be there for the first part. So first of all, my apologies for joining late. But the half that I heard, I think it was extraordinary in terms of how the relationship between Swamiji and the master, and also the way you have explained that the having, and at the end you summarize that having one focused mind towards one guru, one nissa, that is something that we all probably at this point in time have to have as a important takeaway message. Otherwise, as you mentioned, there is so many feedbacks, so many inputs that we get today. It is easy for us to get lost in so many thoughts, so many in so many directions. But as an organization, and also people who are working in the organization, that is probably one of the important message. Just like how Swami Vivekananda and other disciples of Paramahamsa found Ramakrishna in everything. Probably we have to find Swami Vivekananda as our master, and probably take that as our life mission. And in every work, everything that we do, and everything that we think. So probably his message and his call is the only one thing that probably we should be carrying forward, is the message that I get from the talk, Swamiji. So thank you very much for the wonderful talk, and happy that I could join at least even for the second half of this one. So thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you. It's a wonderful occasion, wonderful revision and a meditation for all of us. Known, unknown, everybody will get some clue and some hints so that they can pick up Swamiji's life story seriously. In fact, some people over-enthused, they take only a few selected quotations here and there, or some incidents, and use it hodgepodge, making some cooking out of it. So it is better to go systematically, scientifically, study the life and the comparative later the incidents and how people have interpreted it. That will give a good foundation for us to be faithful to Swamiji. And he also wants that faithfulness in carrying on his work. At the end of the day, Sri Ramakrishna and Vivekananda are two sides of the same coin. He who was Ramakrishna is Vivekananda, Vivekananda is Ramakrishna. And Ramakrishna, Sharada, Vivekananda. Just to end, in the later part of 1900, after Swamiji passing away, say by 1915, 20, Vivekananda is already worshipped in many temples. And in one temple on Vivekananda's birthday, people had kept his photograph along with Sri Ramakrishna's picture in the beginning stages. And some were shocked, some were so unhappy. How can a Shishya's photograph be kept along with the Guru? And we call him Paramahamsa and we call our God. And they went and reported to Holy Mother Sharda Devi, saying that, Mother, is it right? Along with Gurudev, they have put Vivekananda's photo and they're worshipping, they're offering flowers, arati to it. Then Holy Mother got up, sat up in her bed and said, what? They have kept Vivekananda Naren's photo along with Sri Ramakrishna. Oh, they did a mistake. In that way, she just twisted her emotions. She said they were happy that Mother will scold the organizers. Mother said, if my master, if Gurudev would have been alive today, he would have carried Naren on his shoulders and gone on a procession in Kolkata streets on his birthday. They did a mistake by keeping it along with him. They should have kept it above him. Because that is how Sri Ramakrishna looked at Swami Vivekananda. So whatever criticism, whatever this one, Sri Ramakrishna swallowed it. Because he is making a future Shishya into a powerful world mover. As he last day, some of you know, Naren Shikha Debe in Bengali writes, the drawing is still there in Ramakrishna Museum in Belur Math. Naren Shikha Debe, Naren will teach the world. And his voice will go to every house in this world. Gore, Ghore, Bahire, Hank Debe. The word Sri Ramakrishna mentioned was Gore, Bahire, inside and outside. Hank Debe, he will blow the conch. or Vedanta. So we have to study properly and pray to Swamiji to reveal himself who he is. That is also very important. Unless he shows, because he's a mysterious phenomenon. What do we know about Vivekananda? So his guru himself was amazed at his power and his performance. That is how we let us be devoted to Swamiji Sri Ramakrishna and serve the nation and meditate over Swamiji's teachings, Sri Ramakrishna teachings, and be blessed in this life. That is my small prayer.
Thank you so much.
So very much thank you, Sandeep. Thank you, Ramesh ji. Thank you, Kumar ji. And thanks all the organizers of SVYM. And hope Balu will get the message of my interaction sitting in Delhi, and the other Balu also in Bangalore. And all of you are good friends and good things. May all of us be blessed by Swamiji, and the students of your institution also in Sargur and in other places. All of them be healthy, strong, peaceful, and become blessed children of Mother India. Jai Ramakrishna. Namaste, namaste.
We've had people from, and also from several people from outside who also logged in here as well as on the live YouTube. Thank you very much
Wonderful.
for coming or accepting an invitation and coming to the session 1 of season 2. Sir. Thank you very much. Our pleasure.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.